Morning everybody, September the 1st and the big show starts here. Before we start, one big boom. You know what, COVID's gone, Chris and Timothy are back on into space, aren't we kid? How's me bottle washer today, son?
Great, thanks.
Well, good. He's smiling, so he must be happy. Right, listen, this is what we got this week. We got shout-outs, some big ones. We got the Betfred Rugby League update. Boxing from my man Johnny Goggles. We got CD Tenerife, the General. Yeah, Chrissy Todd's on again. And Lee Sobot's Fancy of the Week. Rugby Union, the decline of England rugby, starts very, very soon. Formula One, a one-horse race. Women's darts, Terry. Yeah, we got women's darts on today, son. You're going to be a halfway happy bunny. And we got one or two transfers at the end, and we got the countdown to the sponsored walk. 9 days' time. Okay, here we go. The first time, this is the shout-outs. We always start on a Friday morning with the shout-outs. I had a very good message from a very good friend of mine, Dell and Wendy. It's their anniversary. Thing is, he's a Geordie, she's Rangers. They've been married for 12 years. Met him in the world famous garden bar. He said, Webby, do us a favour, give us a shout. And let me tell you something, Dell, you're still backing or batting above your waist, mate. She's gorgeous. What she thought of you, I will never know in a rain of sand. Props, you told her a bit of this, said you had a few quid in your pocket. She knows now you ain't got nothing, son, but you ain't a bad lad. You met two good friends of mine, Dave and Jenny. They're over in a couple of days' time, so we're going to go out for a bit of scram with that. If you don't know what scram is, it means grub, all right? A bit of food. So to Dell and to Wendy, happy 12th anniversary on the 29th of August. And Dave and Jenny, and not forgetting Big Gaz and Emma. That's the son and the daughter. See you soon, you two. Right, another one. Ian and Kerry from Chesterfield. What a pal. Cider, cider, cider. He loved it. He lives in Chesterfield. He loves the Formula One. Watches the show every single week. He doesn't know I'm doing this, but I'm going to give him a big, big shout out because Kerry told me to. Ian, love you loads, mate, and I'll see you very, very soon. Last but not least to the shout outs, good pal of mine, Chrissy Looker. Helped me out a few years ago. He's an absolute diamond, massive West Ham fan, and he works, he's got his own pool bar over in Lanzarote. But on top of that, there's a little bit of radio work every week. We worked on the radio many, many years ago for Power FM. And I want to give him a big shout because he gave me a massive shout this week on Tuesday afternoon, and he's on monsterradio.es. A big hammer to you, Chrissy Looker. You know, love you loads, mate. Right, take care, and we'll have a couple of sherbets. Right, here we go, on to the sport. It is the Betfred League. Guess what happened this week? Top of the table, Catalans, undefeated. And what happens? Wigan go there and they give them a good drowning. How did that happen? I think it was 38 points to 0. So that now means that St Helens, who also won as well, St Helens and Wigan are only 2 points behind. Top of the table, Catalans. Have the wheels fallen off? The wheels have fallen off Lee. They've lost 2 on the bounce now, so they're 6 points off. Anyway, other wins for Huddersfield, Warrington, Salford Reds, as I said, St Helens and Hull Kingston Rovers. And well done to Wigan defeating the Catalans. That's going to make it a cracking finish to the season. As I say, the wheels have gone off Lee. Bottom of the table, Wakefield still. It is what it is. Right, Formula One, yeah. As you know, Verstappen wins again. Was it number 9, 10, 11, 12? How many? You know, there's just too many to think about, isn't it? So he wins again in Holland. He has an unassailable lead. Won the championship last year, and he's going to win it again this year. And on top of that, Hamilton, he keeps going. He wants to get back to that number 1. He's just signed an extension to his contract, another 2-year contract. So Hamilton, let's make it better next year, because the people who don't like Formula One, it's very difficult. We all like the start, and if there's crashes, we don't want to see anybody hurt. But when you're in front, it's the tyres, isn't it? The medium, the strong, the whatever. It is what it is, isn't it? So if you're into Formula One, which Ian, my pal from Chesterfield is, enjoy it, son. Right, I think it's time, innit? Bit of boxing. Anybody see it last Saturday? It was a great fight. Dubois against the number 1 man, not Fury, Usyk of Ukraine. Johnny Goggles, take it away.
Hello everyone, I'm Johnny Goggles and this is Webby's Boxing Roundup. So, last weekend we had Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. I got a little bit of stick because of this, because I thought Daniel Dubois stood a chance. However, Usyk showed us why he is unbeaten and why he's one of the best technical boxers out there at the moment. Having Dubois down twice, and the second time, Dubois looking like he had given up by staying on his knee. Dubois did give a good impression of himself, but just couldn't shake Usyk. Now, everyone has been talking about the incident that had Usyk on the floor for over 3 minutes. Dubois' promoter, Frank Warren, is getting onto the WBA about a non-contest to try and force a rematch. A punch by Dubois landing on the waistband was deemed as a low blow by the referee. And as the rules state, you are allowed up to 5 minutes to recover from a low blow. But there's a lot of debate about whether it was a low blow or not. What do you think? This Saturday, we have the rematch between Liam Beefy Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. It has been a long time coming since their first bout, with a postponement coming due to Smith picking up an injury. The first bout ended with Smith getting the victory in the 4th round. This is going to be another explosive bout. I can't see past Smith for this one, but hey, that's just my opinion. That's it from me from this week. I will catch you next week. Don't forget, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, please subscribe and like WEBBY'S Sports Roundup from sunny Tenerife, and it's free.
Johnny Goggles, thanks very much indeed. Only 1.5 minutes this week. What happened? It was 3.5 last week, but I did say get nearer the camera and do it. Done a top job, mate. Absolutely superb. So let's see if there is a rematch with Dubois and Usyk. Right, Rugby Union. England losing again. They lost to Wales a couple of weeks ago. They lost to Fiji at home last week in their last warm-up game before the World Cup starts in France in 2 weeks' time. So Borthwick and his coaching staff, I don't know what you're going to do, but the wheels are falling off. They just look really, really, really poor, and I've got no confidence in them whatsoever. But listen, till the game kicks off in a couple of weeks' time, let's see what happens. So come on, England, let's get it going, my boys. Let's sort it. Let's bring the World Cup back home. Right, now we're going to go to, swiftly on to CD Tenerife. Me man, Chris Todd, the General of the Armada, sir. Toddy, take it away, son.
Hello everyone, and welcome to WEBBY'S Sports Roundup. Tenerife lost 1-0 to Real Zaragoza last weekend, but it was a cracking game and a cracking atmosphere. In fact, it was the highest attendance in the second division that weekend, just under 19,000. And everyone that entered the ground, €5 was donated by the club towards the reforestation of the island after our devastating fires. So they raised €94,800, something like that, plus some shirts they'll be selling now. It was a bit harsh on Tenerife to lose. We deserved more. Could have even nicked it. It was 0-0 at half-time. Tenerife were dominating the game without scoring. And then in the second half, 1-0 down from a header, which wasn't a free kick in the first place, but these things happen. And then our main striker came on, Angel, for his debut, and he was sent off after a few minutes, which was a soft sending off. But you could see why, in a way, he tried to fend off a defender trying to run through. And it was an aggression, I suppose, but it was a bit soft. And then in the last few minutes, we dominated again, and we pressurised in the goal, hit the post. We had another golden chance. It should have been a draw, but we lost anyway. So we're okay. Everyone left the ground happy with the performance. Not happy with the result, but the performance was good. So we're still going to make a couple of new signings in the next 24 hours, hopefully. And we march on to Andorra on Sunday morning, 1 o'clock kickoff. So let's hope it's not as hot as last Saturday in the Heliodoro, because that was absolutely terrible. Anyway, thanks. That's it. Sign up to WEBBY'S Sports Roundup. Subscribe. You know it makes sense and it's all free. So, boom.
Chris, thanks for that. Nice little walkabout and so forth. Yeah, you look really, really good on that. They had a great result. Well, they didn't have a good result. They played really well against Zaragoza on Monday night. They have 27,000 season ticket holders, so he told me. So they're going to be there and thereabouts, aren't they? But they still played well, Tenerife. Had a great chance of winning. So hopefully next week we get back on the track, okay? Right. Terry, are you listening? Are you watching, son? We got ladies darts, okay? Yeah. No, it is not topless, son. Forget that. It will never, ever happen. This is what's happening. The woman, the lady, the top #1 English darts player ever seen, Fallon Sherlock. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Darts, she made darts history last week by becoming the first lady ever to do a 9-darter on a televised match. She went bang, 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 bang. You listening, Terry? Bang, 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 bosh. I think it was double 12 to finish. Unbelievable. I don't know if you got any money for it, but Terry, there's your darts. Yeah, you know, don't you? Right. Are we going to go for it? I think we better we? This week's Lee Sobot's Fancy of the Week. Last week, again, Sweet William again. There was a bit of rain last week, and what happened was he was in 3, all right? Trap 3, okay? And that's what happened. It was in the wrong draw. He had the wrong draw. Dettori on the outside, got the rails, and that's the reason why he beat it. So, but it was second. I think it was 5-2, 11-4. But what we'll do is we'll try and get one back this week, okay? So Lee, this is your Fancy of the Week, right? Salisbury, write this down. Salisbury, 225. It's about 7-2. Coppice, COPPICE. It's a progressive filly from the Godson stables, he says. So get your few quid on that. But don't forget, over the term since the 28th of April when we first started, we've done well. If you put a £5 or a £10, same stake every week, you be well up. And I think we're going to keep this up forever and ever. So well done, my son. Right, listen, what we got now? A little bit of insight. You know me, Terry and Big Simon, we did a nice blog on the English Premier League last week on a Tuesday. We're going to do that every single week. We got massive amounts of views this week, and we had a great bit of fun outside of Monte Cristo next to 3 Horseshoes, and we enjoyed it. So every week we're going to put that on Tuesday morning. We're going to do it and put it on 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Be a regular, just like our Friday night sports view as it is at this moment in time. But you're going to get an additional one next week on a Tuesday. We've decided to stay on a bit further, or a bit longer, and what we're going to do, we're going to talk about Champions League draw, which was drawn last night, with your Newcastle, your Man United, your Man City, your Arsenal, your Celtic. And we're going to talk about the transfers, because it's deadline day transfer tonight, 11 o'clock in Britain. That is it. If you're not transferred by then, you ain't getting a transfer, unless you're in the Saudi. Oh, somebody's clicking me. Unless you're getting the Saudi Pro. It's okay, it's my phone. The Saudi Pro League, they're going for another 7 days. Okay, so they can buy Mo Salah. Oh, Terry, if that happens, you got a problem, haven't you? But also, we're going to talk about the England squad for 2 forthcoming European games. They got Scotland and Ukraine in 2 weeks' time. Bit of controversy there. Me, Tel and Simon already had a discussion, so we're going to smash it out next week. So stay tuned in for that. Right, we're coming to the end nearly. As you're probably thinking, right, it is the countdown now. 9 days to go. You're thinking, what's 9 days to go? It is my sponsored walk for F.A.C.T, fighting against cancer in Tenerife. I've got approximately 25, 26-ish at the moment. Terry and Simon's going to get me 1 or 2 more. If there's anybody out there who wants to do the sponsored walk with me and Tim, Christine, on September the 12th, we're starting at James's Bar, 10 o'clock. We're going to be there, bacon sandwich, coffee, tea, whatever, have a talk. Then 10:30 we're going to walk up the coast. We're going to stop at Laura's and Rocky's in the Winchester Bar. We're going to have a little drink in there, whether you want a beer or coffee or whatever. And then we're going to carry on to Mark at the Bookies in Hopping Grapes and finish there. If anybody wants to go any further, fantastic. 3 ladies. We've got Val, Fran and Jane. They're the girls from F.A.C.T, fighting against cancer in Tenerife. They're going to be the ones with the buckets. We're not. They're the ones that's collecting, we are not. But we'll do all the talking and chatting. It's going to be live on YouTube as well, all around the world. So we're going to try and make as much money as we possibly can for the volunteers here who help all the cancer people from here in the south of South Tenerife. So well done to those people. So please email, get in touch on the your Tim will put it on the bottom if you want to do it. If you're over here and what have you, you fancy a little walk. But you got to have your football shirts on, or your rugby shirts, or whoever you follow. Okay. And don't forget, right, that's what's happening there. Also, please check on the auction site. Need a few more bids. I think they're all going to come within the last 2 or 3 weeks. You know, you've got timothydowd.com/Webby. Tim will put it down the bottom. Have a look, make a bid. There's some fantastic items. Every penny goes towards F.A.C.T, fighting against cancer in Tenerife. That should be embedded in you now, F.A.C.T. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Get on there and make a bid. Even if it's a few quid, make a bid. Right, let's have a look. Bit of football transfer news. There's lots going on. There's too much to tell you, to be honest with you. Fulham are after McTominay. That's a bit of news this morning. Spurs possible move for Conor Gallagher at Chelsea. He's in the England squad. Not sure about that one. Liverpool agree a deal for Gravenberch from Bayern Munich. And Man United have taken a 1 year on loan, regular on Spurs, to cover for Luke Shaw as left fullback. And Spurs are still after Johnson, Brennan Johnson. What a great young player from Nottingham Forest. If they get him, I think that'd be a great move, especially with Maddison, and they're playing really well at the moment. Neves, Wolves medical to Man City, 53 million. There's a lot of money going about. Years ago, it was, you know, what was it? First £1 million player, Trevor Francis, that passed away a few weeks ago. Now we're talking millions, 20, 50, 100 million. Last but not least, Mo Salah. Is he going, Terry, or is he not? They're looking at £1.5 million a week to pay him his wages, and they're looking to pay up to 150 million. That's a lot of money just to go in the Pro League to play with, as Terry says, the Camels. That's unbelievable. Right, listen, Tim, that's about it for today. All I'm going to say now, listen. If you like what you hear and you like what you see, subscribe to Webby Sports Roundup. We're glad to see the bottle washer back. We're glad to see the cameraman, the producer.
You're not getting help from me.
No, I'm not getting. No, yeah, hang on. Let me scratch me. Let me scratch. The cameraman, producer, bottle washer, director. Get it in, but it should have come straight away. And the director. Glad he's back on board. We're going to go live in a minute. Absolutely superb. Thank you for all the views and all the new subscribers. Please pass it on. Stay tuned in. From me, Webby, have a great weekend and good luck to the Sky Blue Army tomorrow at home to Watford. Take care.